FBI recommends doing something, it has to go right to the DOJ, Department of Justice, and that's where Attorney Janell Weinstein can help me because that is the extent of my legal knowledge. All right, so Janell, what happens then in that event? The DOJ does not have to take action on that, right?
That's correct. They don't have to take action. They have to decide whether they want to prosecute or not. And this statute is very interesting because it's been criticized by judges and commentators because it's a catch-all, and some call it an unfair trap. Because what happens is it's very attractive to federal prosecutors to use this in the event that they can't prove, or it's difficult to prove, the suspected crimes. Now, with Clinton, we don't really know what they're saying these statements are or who it points to. Of course, we say it's Hillary. We believe it's going to be something to do with her or her aides, perhaps.
Well, isn't it the aides part, Janell, that gets interesting here? Because they're saying it first from the emails to who got them and read them, right? So it's widened out a little bit here beyond just Hillary Clinton, but who had access to that, who read that? That's supposed to be a very limited group of people, I would assume. Right?
That's right. Well, we have to go back to the basics here, right? This is a probe initially by the FBI to look at Hillary's emails, right? And whether or not there was gross negligence in mishandling these emails. And now we're saying they're expanding. We're hearing they're expanding because there may have been statements. So to that, we're looking at these emails. The allegation has been, well, they're classified or they're national defense or something that's going to be hurt the security, and they've been mishandled. Now the question becomes, who's to blame? She claims that she didn't have anything to do with that, and that
a lot of them, I think all of them at the time, the ones that are going to go up there, 400 now,
right,
were not classified at the time.
Right.
But how would we know?
We don't, and that's the question. If they say she's not, or her aides are not forthcoming on the classifications, or they've already said, I did not discard any non-governmental, governmental data, it was only non-governmental data. If that's not true, that's going to be a problem. But now we get to the next stage of the Department of Justice. Are they going to prosecute? Where's that going to go if it's not strong evidence? We have a candidate for president, potentially.
Now, lesser individuals for lesser sins have faced far harsher penalties just for having documents in a place they shouldn't be.
That's correct. We saw that with Petraeus.
Right.
We saw it with other people. The question...
So wouldn't that reek of a double standard if no one decides to take action? Again, depending on the FBI recommending such.
And certainly with this level of people that we're talking about, when we look at the unfairness or the broad part of the statute that's been criticized, it's for the people unknowingly who didn't realize they should have an attorney. But we know Clinton's an attorney. She's well-versed in what's going on.
And could I ask you a naive, stupid question? Which
Never naive from you.
Which you're used to from me. You have to handle that carefully, right? I mean, you're the Justice Department. You know it's going to reek political if you don't take action. So are you blind to that, as they say, justice is blind, or blinders on, you move based on the weight of the recommendation and the information and evidence behind it?
Well, I think the DOJ has to do the proper protocol so that if either side looks at them, they're doing what they're supposed to do, as they have done with other cases.
Which in this case would be what? To take it to the next level?
The problem we have is we don't know what they're getting, what the evidence will be. And
real quick, then, I'm sorry. The FBI says, we think you should do something about this. What does that do something?
Well, we think you should do something because we
do something being what? Something
well,
being
we
what?
should do. We should prosecute. We should try to indict. But because, what are we basing it on? And that, in any case, when you're going to prosecute somebody, you better have a good basis to bring it, regardless of who the proposed defendant is. So what are we basing it on? Is it Martha Stewart situation where clearly misrepresented something to a federal official? Is it that there's a cover-up or concealing? This statute deals with giving false statements, cover-up, or concealing information by Hillary or her aides or even her attorney. And I'm not saying that any of that is the case. We don't know yet. But what we do know now is the FBI is expanding their probe. Unlike being just a preliminary investigation, it seems like it's becoming a full-blown investigation, not just a fact-finding mission anymore.
Well, if somebody you think of James Comey, I mean, he could be this maverick guy who got criticized by Republicans when he was with Bush, and now with Democrats working for the president.
Yeah, we have to see. We don't know.
We don't know. Wait till too early. But I like this, steering me through this legal maze.
Anytime,
you might have a future in law. You should keep this up. It looks very
I'll think about it. Thanks. Coming from you, I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, we come back.